What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from that opening clip, we have a lot still left that we need to do. We haven't even finished removing everything off of the car, and we still have a bunch of parts that need to go into the car, and we haven't even started putting anything in it. So we need to get some of these more boring projects out of the way. So that's what we're gonna start in this video. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys. First things first, we got the engine bay. We need to start cleaning up some of this wiring down there. We need to get that power steering pump removed because we have the bracket conversion kit for the Coyote, and we're going to be mounting it on there before we put the motor in. So we need to get it off of there. There's some slight surface or rust on the radiator support, so we need to clean that up. I have paint match paint coming in for the car. Obviously all this stuff's not going to be seen, but I at least want it to be red. And then I've got primer and stuff, so we're going to go through and clean up where the charge pipe used to be here, and I'd rubbed away some of the paint, and they had mounted the bracket to, and then where this nut clip had rubbed away a bunch of paint. I need to get the hood prop rod out because I want to go to struts or shocks, whatever you want to call them, for the hood. We need to remove this inner wheel well plastic. It's actually broken up here. The charge pipe, the mass airflow sensor used to sit right here, and then the charge pipe went towards the front. Somebody blew the charge pipe at one point in time and then just decided to cut it. So most of this piece is missing, so we need to get a new one of these anyways. And then also a bunch of the wiring that goes into the actual interior of the car is in here. And that's probably where we're going to send most of our wiring through into the car. But yeah, we need to just get some of this stuff cleaned up. Inside, we have a bunch of interior pieces that I need to get moved out of the way. And then I need to remove the rear seat because we are doing a battery relocation to the trunk, and I want to run the cables through here, probably under the dash into this fender here, into that area down here once we remove that. And then also we have a bunch of stuff in the trunk that we need to get moved to the attic. It's a bunch of brand new factory rear tail lights. We got Pro Charger oil, and then the syringe to put the Pro Charger oil in. I think there's brand new headlights in there. Just a bunch of random stuff for the car. It's all good stuff, but I'm not going to be using it right now, and it just needs to get out of the way because we're going to be putting the battery somewhere in this vicinity. So let's get to it. All right, so we got the trunk all cleaned up. We need to start, this is the only rust on the entire car, and it's all probably looks worse in the pictures. It's all solid. It's just all surface rust in there, but I think the cheap third brake light that the previous owner put on was leaking water down into here. So we're gonna get this stuff all cleaned up. It's all just surface scale rust, and it's on the inside, it's not on the other side. I've had the fuel tank off. There's no rust on the other side, it's just in here. So we're gonna get this cleaned up, primed and repainted, so we don't have any issues with this in the future. But yeah, it's all cleaned up now. All right, so the rear seats are all removed. That old sound deadening or whatever the heck they used didn't really fare too well over the years. We need to get back there and clean some of the stuff up. I have some speaker wire that we're not going to be reusing. I need to get it out of there and clean up some of this stuff and put the bolts and stuff away. Not sure if we're going to go back in with a rear seat or if we're going to do a rear seat delete. But yeah, that's out. All right, so we got the old pillar gauges out here, and we got the new one put in. No holes or nothing in it, looks good, and both clips are intact. The old one that was in it had a hole, let's see, Well, for one, this clip right here was broken, and then it had 2 holes in it. There's a hole right there, and then a hole right there where they had attached the pillar gauges to them, because this is like almost a cover for the plastic trim piece. But we got a new one in there, and it looks good now. So we just got to finish all of these wires out of here, and I think some of them are up into the firewall. So let's get to that next. And then those wires came through right here. They have this boot all messed up, and then come to this broken piece. I think this was for boost, and then I think this went to a fuel pressure sensor. But we get all these removed off of here and pulled on through. All right, so we got all of that stuff removed from down there, got the new piece put in, and all of them pulled through the firewall. All of them are sitting right over there. Now we're gonna get on to getting that wheel all removed. Alright guys, now we have access to inside the wheel wells. Everything in here looks pretty good. That's out of rust. Right there is where the factory engine harness and stuff goes into the interior of the car. So we might be going through there, or cutting a new hole in here somewhere. Here's the fuel lines that go to the back. But yeah, we're gonna need access, I think, to these anyways. I'm not sure if those get reused or not whenever we buy the Lethal Performance fuel system, but we'll see. But yeah, we're in there now. Alright guys, so we got everything removed off of the front here. We got the water pump off and then the crank pulley. I'm not finished cleaning this stuff up. Once you remove the crank pulley, this is no longer sealed. So anything that would wash here would go right into the motor, and I don't want that to happen. So we're gonna wait till we get that timing cover off, and then we'll go through and clean all this stuff up and try to get more of the corrosion on the nooks and crannies off. This is the 3-jaw puller that I used to get the crank pulley off. You can get it off of Amazon. I couldn't find anything exactly like this at Harbor Freight. I had used the Matco one on the Silverado, and it worked really, really good. I've tried just the standard 3-jaw pullers to get these crank pulleys off, and honestly, they're a pain. These ones are amazing because you can actually put a wrench on here and keep your crank pulley from rotating as you're running it off. And just in general, it goes a lot smoother, and it's probably a lot safer on your crank. So I would suggest, I think it's like 35 bucks, but I would really suggest getting one of these. It works amazing for not only LS crank pulleys, but the Coyote crank pulleys, and I'm sure most modular Fords. So definitely a good buy. That is going to be all, guys, for this video. We do have billet oil pump gears coming for the car. They should be here on Tuesday. It is now Sunday. So that next video that you guys are seeing after this one should be the billet oil pump gear install. That's why we're removing the crank pulley and the water pump, not only to get some more access to clean up the corrosion, but we also have those billet oil pump gears coming on the way. So stay tuned for that. If you guys are liking this content, please give it a like. And if you guys want to see this Coyote go into this new edge, please subscribe, hit that bell notification. But thank you guys for joining me on this video. I will catch you in the next one.